Jesus Christ.
The Christian life can really be summarized in two words: faith and love. Faith and love. And this is what we hear in our second reading today from St. John. He says, the commandment is this, that we believe in the name of his only Son, Jesus, and that we love one another as he taught us. And it's interesting there that St. John says, this is the commandment, and then he goes on to specify two different things. It's because these two, faith and love, are completely inseparable. We need both of them in our Christian lives. And at different times, people have emphasized one over the other or tried to separate them, having faith over love or love over faith. And this is both problematic. The first one was the error of the Protestant reformers who taught that there was salvation through faith alone, something that's not supported by a careful reading of the New Testament, especially the words of Jesus in the letter of St. James. But then today we also have something quite different, which we might call something like love or salvation by love alone, or do-goodism. This is what people say, well, I'm a good person, I'm nice to people, I volunteer, I recycle, I give back, all of these things. And nothing wrong with those, but without faith, those acts of love don't have as much value. And so we need both. We need both faith and love, because if we don't have faith, then we can't truly love other people. And if we don't have love, then we can't truly believe in Jesus. We have to have both of these. And so what does St. John teach us about faith and about love? Well, faith, he tells us, has two parts to it. The first is internal act of trust and surrender to God. And the second is an outward confession of our faith. We have to have both of these. It's harder to have the inward faith and trust, and that's why we have to ask for it. But sometimes people have one without the other. Maybe they have the inward faith without the expression outside, or maybe they have an outward confession of faith without actually having that inward thing. And that's what we need both. And that's what St. Paul says. We have to believe in our hearts and proclaim with our lips that Jesus is Lord. And then, so that's what faith is. It has to be both internal and external. And then love. St. John teaches us that love is more than just about feelings, right? Feelings are great, especially when they help us to truly love, but our feelings can lead us astray. We can be attracted to things that are wrong, or we can be turned back from things that are good. And so it has to be more than just feelings. And then he says it has to be more than just words too. He says, let us love not just in speech and in words, but in deeds and in truth. And this is because love is proved more by deeds than by words. Love is proved more by deeds than by words. This is like the saying we have today that, what is this saying? I already forgot it. Okay, let's see. Actions speak louder than words. That's what I was looking for, right? Actions speak louder than words. We can say that we love God, but if we don't do anything about it, how is anybody to know? How is God supposed to know if we don't act upon our love for him? Or if we say we love our neighbors, but don't act upon it, what good is that? St. James in his letter gave an example. He said, if you see another person that is lacking a coat and lacking daily food, and you tell them, go in peace, be warm and well fed, and if you don't do anything about it, what good are your words? We have to back up our words with deeds if they're going to be truly loving. And so the goal here in our Christian life is to have faith working through love. And I just want to end with an example, the greatest example, which is Mary, the Blessed Virgin Mary. She was her son's first and greatest disciple. And we see that she had an immense faith. When the Archangel Gabriel appeared to her and told her that she would be the mother of the Redeemer, she believed and she acted upon that and never wavered. She stood at the foot of the cross of her son as he died in that crucifixion, and she continued to believe and always has. And in the Gospels, Elizabeth says to Mary, "Blessed are you who believe." And then we also know that Mary, of course, loved God, but she also loved others. And this is probably exemplified best in the story about the wedding feast at Cana. There was that couple that was having their wedding celebration, and they began to run short on wine. And Mary went to her son and said, "They have no wine," like telling him, "Can you do something for these people?" And so that's what Mary does for everybody. That's what she does for us. She says, "This person, needs this. My dear son, can you give it to them?" And that's why she has a great love. So, once again, the heart of the Christian life is faith and love. These two things, faith working through love. And we can act upon these, especially with the grace that comes from Christ and the Holy Spirit. He is the vine, we are the branches. If we remain in him, then we will have these two gifts and we will put them into effect in our lives.